Hello there, world of takers, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Beans, and in today's video, we are taking a look at the Object 590. For any of you frequent flyers on the channel, I've been a little bit busy over the past week. That's why there has been about a 4-day hiatus before I started posting, but we're back, and I'm going to be doing daily content for, hopefully, as long as I can. Now, the Object 590 is a vehicle that was released in loot boxes just a week ago, and I've had some time to think about how this vehicle plays as I've been messing around in it. I played 2 battles in the vehicle today, averaged 2,500 damage, which is alright, and assisted about 1,000 in both games. So there's about 3,500 in each battle, and I really think that these games are going to illustrate the strengths and major flaws in the Object 590. If I'm not mistaken, this is the first auto-reloading Soviet vehicle in the game, which is pretty unique and very, very cool. I like that Wargaming basically made a T-54 with an auto-reloader, but this is a very unique auto-reloader at that. Normally, the more you eat into the clip, if you're in a Progetto, an AMBT, the more shells you shoot, the less DPM you have. That's not the case for this vehicle. In this tank, you have more DPM the more you shoot. So you can see it's a 17-second reload for shell number 3. That's when your clip is fully loaded. It's a 13-second reload for shell number 2, and it's a 7.7-second reload for shell number 1. What that means is if you dump the entire clip, you will have much more effective DPM rather than sitting on single shot with a 17-second reload. It is not good to sit on single shot last shell. It is much more efficient to actually dump your clip. Even if you're halfway through that 17-second reload, it's still more efficient to dump the clip, which is kind of insane. And even if you are on single shot reload, you still have 2,500 DPM, which is more than enough to get the job done. The vehicle deals 320 damage per shot, and it has premium AP, which is pretty nice. That means that you'll cut through a lot of opponents, but it is only 270 mils a pen. That's probably about 300 effective, so it's pretty mediocre, especially from shell velocity and penetration loss over distance. Overall, the gun on this vehicle is pretty mid, especially when you take a look at the really, really bad aiming time of 2.59 seconds. And you pair that with the 0.32 dispersion and 4-second intra-clip. Yeah. Oh, and look at the on-movement dispersion. It's 0.2. So, yeah, when it comes to the gun, it's nice. The fact that you're able to deal 960 damage in a short burst of time is great. But it's an 8-second intra-clip to get out all the shells. And the vehicle has very, very poor values when it comes to the accuracy, which you're going to see when we take a look at the replays. Mobility-wise, it's also quite mid. 17.26 power to weight, only reaching a top speed of 52. At least it reverses pretty fast, but yeah, mobility-wise, not very quick. The most important thing we want to take a look at is the armor, and how does it look? Well, it's actually pretty solid, to be honest. The upper plate's about 240 mils thick on flat, and even though this vehicle only has 6 degrees of gun depression, if you are using it hull down, we can see that even loading the premium rounds on this vehicle, it's quite a hard pen. It's actually pretty impressive, 280 mils. So obviously, high pen vehicles are going to cut right through this upper plate, but heat shells are going to be looking at around 290 mils just using 6 degrees. That's pretty solid. We can also see the turret armor is pretty good. It's about 230 to 260 depending on where you're hitting. It's not great, but it is good enough that if you're going up against tier 8s or even the majority of tier 9s, you will get bounces here and there. So armor's actually surprisingly good on the vehicle, but I'd hope that because the gun is really, really inaccurate. This first battle we're going to take a look at is going to easily showcase the inaccuracies that this gun features. Up against us, we have a pretty solid matchup. We got a couple tier 9s, and for the most part, a bunch of tier 8s. This is the dream lineup for a vehicle like the Object 590. And look at that. A Contracaro is spotted right out in the open. Look at how long this vehicle takes to aim in, and when we do finally aim in, the shell misses and we don't even get another shot out. So already not great. We're at 0 damage. We've dumped 2 of our shells, and not a fantastic start. So now we see the Skoda. Again, look at this vehicle's aiming time. Holy bad, and it misses. Oh, rat. Well, at least we pen 1 shell on the Skoda, dealing 350 damage. Now we're just going to take a quick shot at where he should be, but it doesn't hit. Yeah, I think you can start to see why this gun feels pretty mid in my opinion. Its aiming time is just so bad. Take the shot at where he was and it goes low. I mean, I'm running V-stabs, I'm running vents, and I'm running an aiming device. That is the 3 best equipment you can run in the game to make this vehicle more accurate. Even if you get the field mods on your vehicle, you're not able to run accuracy. Look at this, I'm going to aim it on the side of the Panther 88, we also got the Waffle, okay. Well, these are going to be easy shots. Once you're fully aimed in, the shells are pretty good. It's just the fact that it takes so long to aim in. So, we get 2 shells into the enemy there, and now we're getting absolutely bonkered. But we're all good. We're going to aim it on the side of the Panther, and it misses. I can't. We are already missing out on like 2,000 potential damage this game, which is insane how much this gun misses. I mean, once you get it to a decent position, you can start to get some shells out, and at least we're at 1,070 assistance, which is pretty nice, but oof, the gun on this vehicle just does not feel enjoyable. You have all these shells, and they just miss after miss after miss. So, pretty start. I'm not going to say it's great. We should be at about 2,500 damage minimum at this point, but instead we're at 1,600, which is really unfortunate. If our RNG was just slightly better, we could have done a bit more. So at this point, I'm going to push onto the side of the Skoda and the Progetto. And this is some easy damage, so here we go. And let's see. I'm going to aim it on the Progetto to start off with, and we get 1 bonk right into his turret. You can see I gave it some time to aim in, and we get a 2nd bonk into his vehicle. Both pretty bad rolls, and he should be dead right now. But that's alright, we're going to aim it on the side of the Skoda. Oh, I missed again. There's no way this gun is real. I counted it up, and it was about 1,800 potential damage that was missed. So I could have dealt 4,000 damage in this game, but I dealt 2,200. And it shows just where an inaccurate gun can make you hate life sometimes. This vehicle's nice in the fact that you can dump the shells and you'll gain DPM, but it's really annoying in the fact that its accuracy just isn't very good. So we did 3,200 combined, which is alright, and it was a pretty easy win, so I can't complain all too much, but wow, just what an irritating battle to start off with. We had 1 tier 8 game, and now we have 1 tier 10 game. Once again, you're going to see a lot of frustration when it comes to this gun, especially at the end of the battle, where I easily could have dealt over 3,000 damage, but just because of the gun's accuracy letting us down, we really weren't able to. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of low gun depression tanks. I think they're alright if you're in a heavy and you've got really good armor, like an IS-7, because you can get frontline and you can use that armor to still obviously get bounces, hold off your opponents, but in mediums, it's a lot more challenging. Not only because we're up against higher tiered mediums in this battle, but it's also the fact that this tank just doesn't have enough armor to get consistent bounces. I mean, any of those enemy mediums against us, the M60, UDES, Kampfpanzer, they're going to butter right through this vehicle's armor. And we can't really get hull down here. Like, our Karo's hull down, and the G-Sor is able to use gun depression, but this tank, with only 6 degrees, I really can't work that bush, and those guys are taking it up anyway. So, at this point in time, there's just not much we can do here. We're just going to sit, and we're going to wait. And it's been about 3 minutes, and we're still waiting. At this point, the enemy team has made some aggressive maneuvers, but they haven't crossed in the open. Well, we finally have the UDES showing his hull. We're going to aim in, but again, wow. This vehicle's awful accuracy basically makes it impossible to hit him. A little bit of lag there, as you can see, aiming at the M60, so that's why that shot was a little bit funky. But yeah, not a great start. We're still sitting at 0 damage, and about 30% of the game has ticked through. Alright, well, we got the M60 in front, and we tried to hit him in the hatch. Unfortunately, the shell does not go into the hatch. We're going to try again, but I just shoot him in the hull. I'm still getting used to the reticle, server reticle. It's a little tricky for me to get used to. So as of right now, I find it a lot easier to just, you know, try to shoot people when they're sitting still rather than shoot a moving hatch. So I've dealt 650 damage at this point, hitting the M60 twice, and we got a nice bounce as well. Okay, not bad. We haven't bled any health ourselves, and that means this is a pretty good start to the battle. I've learned more and more when I play World of Tanks compared to World of Tanks Blitz that bleeding health is just something you don't want to do, because when you bleed health, it's just a lot worse late game. Now, I did decide to push up here. My STB needed support, and I felt, well, if nobody else is going to push up, I might as well help this guy, especially because I can basically get up here for free. But again, I'm running into the same problem I had before. The enemy team has all hull-down vehicles. They got a Char, they've got a Centurion 7-1, they've got a Kampfpanzer, they got a UDES, and I'm over here in a tank that has 6 degrees of gun depression, trying to hold against what is basically impossible. Thankfully, we had just enough gun depression to hit that Kampfpanzer, but we got hit back by the Arty, so I guess it was kind of an even trade. We're up to 900 damage at this point. That Centurion's trying to poke us. Thankfully, we were able to back him off before we had to worry too much. Would love to shoot that M60, would love to shoot the UDES, but as of right now, that's really not a possibility. But there you go. Finally bonking the enemy UDES. But, oh man, the Centurion pens us with an APCR for 430. Oh, bruh, this is not going well. The STB gets cleared, but the good news is that our team is making their way down the 9 line. And that means the artillery are hopefully going to be gone very, very shortly. I'm just trying to keep this lit up here because it's going to allow our artillery to get some bonks out. We can see that the UDES is getting shot. I don't know how he was able to hit us there. Must have been able to see our turret and hatch us or something, because there's no way that vehicle saw my hull. But, oh well. Again, we're just kind of chilling here at this point. We get a nice shell into the Centurion. We're able to back up before that player's able to pen me. As I said, the turret's pretty good on this vehicle, and since the Centurion only has HESH or AP, it's not going to be able to cut through my tank, at least too easily. So we're at 1,600 damage. We've assisted 500, and still not a very enjoyable situation we've got ourselves stuck in here. But artillery are trying to peg these guys. So if we just chill here and we wait, we're not going to be able to get shot through the rear because of where our teammates have died. I'm basically covered from the Type 68, so that's not really a problem. Well, the Type 68's dead, so I don't even know why I mentioned that. We got the Centurion, we got the UDES, and we're just waiting. So I might as well just speed this up a little bit. We are going to see this UDES get quite a bit feisty here. Dude does not like me, and as you can see, starts to play pretty aggressive. So I just back up. Looks like he's about to send me, but doesn't really matter too much. He shoots, doesn't hit me. I think he might have been shooting at the Caro. Again, though, without gun depression, this situation's very annoying here. But we get to the side. We're able to finish him off. We got the Kampfpanzer in the back. He misses me. I shoot at his vehicle. Nice 277. We're going to lead the shell and just take a shot. Doesn't really hurt anyway because I'm spotted, so I'm not going to move up. Alright, we're up to 2,200 damage, and we've assisted 800, so we're about 3,000. And we can see that there's an E3 left, and this guy's got a decent chunk of HP. So we're going to aim it on the side of his tank. Aiming, aiming, aiming. I'm going to wait for my clip to fully go. And there you go. Okay, there's one 324 damage pen. We're going to aim in fully on the side, and wow. There you go. Again, that shell should have penned, but for some reason, this gun doesn't like me. So we're missing out 300 damage right there. Thankfully, that shell pens. You can see I've loaded gold at this point. We're going to reload one more shell. 3, 2, 1, and I can't. So, yeah, I mean, this tank is rather frustrating when it comes to the accuracy. The 2 shells we bounced on the E3 alone would have given us about 3,200 damage. With that shell that missed the UDES, that would have been another 300. So easily we could have dealt like 3,600 damage this game. And it's just the accuracy. I mean, if this tank was accurate, it would be so nice, because it doesn't have gun depression, it doesn't have a lot of mobility, and while its armor's okay, it's not great. So, I don't know. I think the tank's good. I think it's pretty well balanced. It's just personally annoying to me to drive a vehicle and have the accuracy screw me over so much in the 2 games that I played in it today. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about the Object 590. I think it's a fun vehicle, and I would definitely say that if you picked it up, it's a good shout, but that's about all I got for you. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.